Welcome to the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast with Michael LaFido, where top luxury agents reveal their best practices, plus interviews with real estate industry influencers, thought leaders, and luxury marketing experts. You'll come away from each episode with new strategies and tactics to dominate high-end homes in any market. And now for the latest episode of Luxury Listing Specialist. Here's your host, luxury real estate expert, coach, and trainer, Michael LaFido.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Michael LaFido. Welcome to the Luxury Listing Podcast. I'm really excited about this week's episode. Again, if you are an agent looking to increase your average sale price, perhaps you're looking to break into, or perhaps you are a veteran and you're looking to differentiate and dominate selling high-end and luxury homes, you're in the right spot. Again, Luxury Listing Specialist, the foundation of your business is going to be how to attract more business versus chase more business. And we've had some amazing guests. You can always go to iTunes or Stitcher or go to the website, luxurylistingpodcast.com, to gain access to previous interviews. But let's get right into this week's interview. We got Anthony Marguleas, who's the owner of Amalfi Estates. They service the west side of LA, Bel Air, Beverly Hills. He's been in real estate since the mid-1990s. He's doing some amazing things, and we're really excited to welcome you today's podcast. Welcome, Anthony.
Michael, thank you very much for having me.
Well, you're absolutely welcome. And again, we're very selective on who we interview for these podcasts. Again, leading influential people in the industry and service providers. So with that being said, you were hand-selected because you're doing some amazing things from a philanthropical standpoint, charitable events. So why don't you tell a little bit of the folks a little bit about your story, your background, and then we'll get right into today's topic on how to use charitable events and strategic giving to grow your network and attract ideal clients.
Sure. Well, I started my company, Amalfi Estates, about 24 years ago, and we're based in Pacific Palisades. We cover a lot of the luxury market place in our area. I have a team of 9. We're a small boutique. We typically, this year, we're on track for about $200 million in sales. And last year we did about a little over $100 million in sales. So business has been busy. We're very fortunate for that. We really brand ourselves as a philanthropic business that happens to sell real estate. So all of our branding, it's a different narrative. There's so much clutter and traffic in real estate. Everyone has a real estate license. There's 1.7 million agents in the country. There's 400,000 in California alone. But the way we positioned ourselves, and really we believe it, you have to believe to give, 10% of our commission to charity. But we're very, very fortunate in doing so. We let the client pick from one of 5 charities. And we have one for kids, Make-A-Wish, one for health, which is American Cancer Society, one for pets, which is SPCA, one for homelessness, which is PATH, and then lastly, Homeboy Industries, which is they help get gangs off the streets. And the nice thing about it is we let the client pick the charity, and it really deepens the relationship with them by allowing them to do so. And we've been very, very fortunate to have the opportunity. We've given over $500,000 since 2014. And this year we're on track for over $200,000 to give away just this year. And my goal by 2020 is to start giving $500,000 a year away to charity. And that to me is exciting. That's what gets me up every morning. That's my passion.
Well, I just want to make sure, because you gave us so much great information there. So you went from 100 million in volume last year to, on pace for 200 million volume. So, you kind of just brushed right over that, but that's awesome, Anthony. So you're on pace to double your production from last year. And again, there's, depending on where our listeners are, we have people outside the U.S., of course, and we have people from all 50 states listening to the podcast. And that's a good reminder that life is what drives real estate. It doesn't matter who our president is, what interest rates are. that sort of thing. Heck, I'm based in Illinois, and we have more people leaving Illinois than coming in. But life is what drives real estate. So, you're doing a tremendous job. And holy cow, you guys got 400,000 agents in California alone. So it's more difficult to stand out, and you're doubling your business. So first off, I want to congratulate you there. But I really want to hit on this idea of the charitable events and the strategic giving. And so you really, you give back. 200,000 last year, and your goal is to get 500,000. Well, heck, if you keep doubling your income, it's going to happen. So first off, that's awesome that you're doing that. I always tell agents, nobody cares how much you know until they know you care. So you can go on all the listing appointments you want. You can go to all these seminars. And if you just tout all the features that you bring to the table, but not how it can benefit them, and you just talk about your certification, your designation, or your firm, but you don't build rapport and they don't realize you care, it doesn't matter. And so by using these charitable events, and you don't just use it on your business card or your website, but you lead with it and you practice what you preach, you're giving back 10% of your net commissions. Kudos to you. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, well, and what we do as well, every one of our print and every one of our online ads has the 5 charities in our ad featured fairly prominently. So we're actually advertising for them in the ads. And it's great. You go to sleep at night, you're making a difference. You're setting by example. I have some younger members on my team, some of my sales partners. They're one's 24, one's 25 years old. And they're actually, they're giving the ability to give checks of $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 to charities from sales that they're doing. And just to see that the influence they're having, I know the rest of their lives, it'll affect them. They'll continue to give. When they have kids, they'll pass that on. So it's really just teaching philanthropy. And it's a win-win all around. We love doing it.
That's awesome. And you're training people from the get-go. I think that's so important, whether you have kids, whether you have a team, lead with a giving hand. And part of the reason we wanted you to have you on, the timing is perfect, just because I feel like there's so much toxicity. Say that word 3 times, say that 3 times fast. But there's so much toxicity right now in the media and social media. And so it's just a breath of fresh air that, we have. We're leading with the giving hand. We're giving back to people, to organizations that need it. And we are in a position where we're very lucky, the industry that we're in. Most agents chose the industry to be an agent because of the flexibility and the potential for the income and whatever it is. Maybe you're just passionate about real estate or all the above. And I love the fact, Anthony, that that you're giving back. So that's great. So tell me how, have you always had this philanthropic philosophy, or was there a light bulb that went on, or did you attend an event? Tell me how this came to be.
I was very fortunate. My parents were very philanthropic, and so I modeled the behavior from my parents. And I, was hoping when I got successful enough to be able to pattern it. And it's not easy. There's a lot of sacrifice. I could have given 1% and probably still gotten the same marketing from it. So for all those agents out there listening, if they think, oh, this is a great marketing ploy, it's really, you have to really believe it. And 10%, it's a sacrifice. That 10%, is a lot of money, and it could be going to other things. But I think at the end of the day, when you look back on your career and your life, it's not how many homes you sold. It's not how many millions of dollars of homes you sold, or the cars you have, or the houses. It's how many lives you touched. And we're very fortunate. I'm really happy that we found this avenue, and our clients are as well. One story, I asked my client, I sold a house last year, and I said to the client, which of the 5 charities would you like to donate to? And he said, well, if you don't mind, I'd really like to donate to this one charity. And the reason being was his granddaughter had a rare heart condition, and she passed away suddenly on a soccer field while she was at school. And I had tears in my eyes, and the client had tears in his eyes. And it really, he said, would you mind putting that 10% to my daughter's, charity for her medical condition, because, she passed away, and we want to, hopefully find a cure. And I said, of course. And it realized then how right the decision was, what we were doing, because it really deepened that relationship to such a different level than, a business transaction where, hey, we're selling our house. And, we'll have that moment, that memory now between myself and my client that will always be there. So,
yeah, that's deep. I can hear it just in your tone. I could see how the emotions. You're absolutely right. I mean, real estate, we are blessed to have the responsibility to help people either close out chapters of their lives, hopefully on their terms, and open up new chapters in their lives, again, hopefully on their terms. When I say hopefully on their terms, of course, divorce and various scenarios come into what we do for a living, but it's a big responsibility, and that's part of the reason, Anthony, we started this podcast. That's part of the reason we started the luxury certification, because I'm sick and tired of so many traditional real estate agents out there either undervaluing a high-end and luxury home, or perhaps just using traditional methods. They just sit it on the market with terrible photos and descriptions and videos, and then all their default answer is lower the price, and so that gives us all a bad name. So obviously the topic is very relevant, but we have people not just do what they say they're going to do, but top producing agents that don't use traditional marketing methods. So that's awesome. Anything else that you'd like to add? And then I want to ask you a couple marketing strategies that you're seeing work in your market.
Sure. Well, one thing I have been working on in the last year is a 10% giving pledge challenge. And I personally challenge every real estate firm and every real estate agent listening to this podcast to take the step and challenge the 10% challenge to give to charity. In Los Angeles alone, there's $36 billion of homes that are sold, and $90 million a year can be given to charity just in Los Angeles. We're talking staggering numbers. And we're starting to see it in our marketplace, and I give a lot of talks that people are starting to take the challenge and start giving back. And it's amazing the benefits that happen. So I hope everyone listens to this sincerely and is able to do it.
That's awesome. Thank you. We can all make a difference. So even those listeners that, you guys are struggling as an agent, perhaps you haven't had that breakthrough and you have, debt and credit card payments, start somewhere, even if it's 1% or $100 or something. And, don't feel like you got to jump in at 10%, start somewhere. But, 10% is a great number to start out. That's for sure. So you're servicing west side of LA, Bel Air, Beverly Hills. You have a team of 9. You work with sellers. You have buyers agents. For those listeners, we always try to give away, 1 or 2 marketing strategies that you find that are helping you sell homes in your market. If you wouldn't mind sharing, Anthony, maybe 1 or 2 marketing strategies that you're seeing success with in your market out there.
Yeah, one thing that I started about 5 years ago now, and it's been really, really successful, especially on the high end. But I think a lot of times people look at other agents as their competitors. And what I did a couple different things. I invited the number 1 competitor in my marketplace to my office, and I opened up every single marketing piece, every single best practices, every single thing that I did, because I believe in the plentiful mentality and not the scarcity mentality. So, and he was shocked. He's like, well, we're competitors and you're opening up everything in my office. I said, you know what? I think there's enough business to go around. And the minute I did that, he opened up things that he did, and it was very, very beneficial. So partnering with that concept about 5 years ago, I invited the founder or the top agent from each major real estate firm in Los Angeles to a networking group, and we meet once a month. And so we're talking about some really big hitters. So we have 22 people in the group from the 17 firms. We've sold somewhere around $9 or $10 billion in real estate, and we share best practices. And it's just, there's so much benefit and so much information out there. And I know so many agents are so worried about other people taking the listing or someone getting their client. And if they could just go in with the attitude that there's so much business out there, it'll come to them.
Man, that's powerful. I love that. There are too many agents with scarcity, right? They keep their secrets close to their chest. You walk through the office, you don't want to look up because somebody might ask you, hey, how did you get that listing? Or how did you do that? And again, I do believe in leading with a giving hand, right? Help others out. I mean, I just had somebody from another firm reach out to me about something the other day. And exactly, I mean, if you have a scarcity mindset, Anthony, you're always going to be looking over your shoulders. The way I look at things, I had a guy that I was recruiting to my team. He was a $50 million producer, and I invited him on a listing appointment because I was trying to recruit him. Now, yeah, he could have taken some of my ideas, but the way I looked at it, Anthony, is he would not be able to articulate my unique selling proposition, what makes me different and unique, better. So even if he had the exact script, so that when you're confident enough in your abilities, then you don't have that scarcity mindset. So that's a good point. I appreciate you bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Are you guys seeing a ton of agents utilizing video, whether it be drone or bringing in cars, or even if it's just property videos, or is that the expected out by you?
It is expected, and it's been out there for a couple of years. The virtual reality has gotten pretty exciting. It's kind of in the newer phases. It's more of a gimmick now, but I think in the next few years, with Oculus and a few other companies out there, the virtual reality headsets, I think, will change how a lot of people are viewing some of these homes. But yeah, we do the drones on all of our properties. A lot of times people will just do it on the high-end properties, but we want to brand ourselves as being the luxury end. So every one of our properties gets the same marketing push for video and drone and everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And again, just from a clarification standpoint, so you are donating to their charity, their choice. It's coming from you. You're not giving it to them to make the donation, correct?
Correct. It's coming directly from us.
Yeah. Because I know we have different, every state's different, but you can definitely do that all day. So that's awesome. Well, to kind of wrap things up, a couple things. Again, for those listeners that are, looking to differentiate, bring more value to their marketplace, they're looking to attract more high-end clientele. Make sure you check out our training, our certification. It's at luxurylistingspecialist.com, Lux for short, Luxury Listing Specialist. We don't just bundle in some great training. There's over 7.5 hours of content, but we're doing some really cool things with some affiliations. For example, we partnered up with Concierge Auctions. Anyone that gets to our certification, you will become a preferred agent with Concierge Auctions, and that will help you attract more clientele as well as provide perhaps a revenue stream for you. We can get into more details if you're interested. You can always email me directly, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup. So again, Anthony, for anyone that might have a referral in that Beverly Hills, Bel Air, west side of LA marketplace, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Our website is amalfiestates.com, and it's spelled AMALFIESTATES.com. And they can see a lot of our charitable giving there. And if anyone's interested in possibly doing that in their market, I'm happy to discuss it with them.
That's awesome. Well, listen, your time is valuable. I really appreciate it. Anthony, great content. Again, using charitable events and strategic giving, not as a gimmick, as you said, but coming from a servant heart because you really want to do it, give back. And I'm a big believer, you do enough, help enough people get to where they want, good things will be bestowed on you. So that's awesome. Well, Anthony, it was a great interview. I really appreciate it. Keep growing it. I'm excited to follow up with you in the near future because I know if you're going to be donating $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, I know that's your goal here in the next few years. That means that your business is going like gangbusters. So keep up the good work. And again, folks, you can go to luxurylistingpodcast.com to listen to previous episodes, or you could, of course, go to iTunes or Stitcher to download the latest episode. Michael Lafito, remember, it's not the market, it's the marketing. Take care. Hey there, it's Michael LaFido. Thanks again for listening to our podcast. If you are interested in signing up for our Luxury Listing Specialist certification, or if you want additional information on how you can dominate selling higher-end homes in your marketplace, make sure you go to luxurylistingspecialist.com.